Hello, everybody. It's time for Real Talk. It's time for that stupidly named show that I decided to start doing. Today we've got Plata and Ross, just like last time. I don't think that your voices are on right now, actually. Hold on. There we go.
Could you introduce us?
Yes. We got here Plata. Plata, say hi.
Hi.
How are you doing today? And
I am just fine.
We've also got Ross and my keys.
That is the Coke that is empty. Mr. Fresh.
This one isn't empty.
But this one isn't.
All right.
Cheers.
So what's been going on in Ross and Plata land? If either of you would like to start.
Well, I just woke up to a hail thunderstorm.
Oh, where do you live?
Yeah. Washington.
Oh,
Specifically Seattle.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
Quite interesting.
It's
My dog was hiding in my bathtub.
It's sunny over here, so.
Yeah, it's starting to get sunny, but I just woke up and I was like, that's a strange noise. And then I looked outside and it was hailing really hard. And then I went downstairs and heard my dog upstairs. So I went upstairs and looked in the bathtub and she was sitting there shaking like crazy. Because she likes to hide in the bathtub for some reason.
Huh. Yeah. So what's been going on with you, Ross? I know that the show is a little bit early today, but
Yeah.
figured we'd just start it whenever.
About an hour and 20 minutes ago, it started thundering and raining really heavily outside, and I have to take care of my aunt's dog this weekend. Well, today and yesterday, and she gave a call to say that if it starts to thunder, then go comfort her dogs. There's two of them. They're both chow chows, and they're kind of wimps. So it started thundering outside, and I was like, oh shit, gotta comfort the dogs and watch Top Gear. So I ran out. The moment I stepped out the door, it just started raining down. It was pretty horrible. I was halfway through a bag of Doritos, so I took those with me. And I was also wearing a t-shirt and shorts, which isn't very good for rain weather. So I got there, and I spent the next half an hour just watching TV, making sure the dogs were alright. And I normally have to feed them at around 5:30 as well, so I thought, no, I might as well feed them while I'm here, which I did. Then I came back, and here I am now.
Did the dogs flip out when it hears thunder and shit?
I don't know, because when it first thundered, I went over and they would just seemed a bit shook up. And then while I was there, it thundered about twice, and every time Reggie, one of the dogs, would just look up and start growling as if they thought it was like an intruder.
It's attacking! Attack back!
Yeah.
Attack the sky!
Dogs
It will kill you.
So it seems like a theme today is dogs and
thunder.
And thunder.
Yeah, my dog flips out at any firework, any bang, anything.
Speaking of
My
fire,
dog hates fireworks.
Speaking of fire, there's this thing that I heard about yesterday, and it's actually starting to infuriate me. There's this thing called you guys heard of the cinnamon challenge?
Oh god.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's this thing that's going around, and instead of eating cinnamon or
Isn't it like pressing your hand on someone's chest or something or the head?
No. It's you take what acetone is? Nail polish remover.
Oh Jesus.
You cover your
no.
chest and hands with it and light it on fire.
Cool.
It's
Why?
called the fire
fucking
challenge.
Kids, why?
I know, that's what I said. Why do kids do these stupid things?
About 2 years ago, there was this massive thing. Do you know Axe body spray?
Oh,
Yeah.
Axe products? Yeah, so they were taking Axe and spraying it all over themselves and then lighting themselves on fire because it would burn off, usually. But there were so many casualties from it, and kids kept doing it. And I don't understand how stupid these kids have to be to do this.
In ye old England, Axe is called Lynx.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I know that.
I knew that.
I knew that one.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense because I actually saw a video of it, and I could, if I found it, I could link it to you. But a guy is covering himself with it, and all of his friends are there, and they're in the shower. He's in the shower, and the shower's running, the water is going, and
Well, at least it's being safe.
he lights it, and immediately runs out of the shower.
What? Why? You're in water.
And everybody-
You want to douse flame.
Everybody's yelling.
That's
like,
like
why are
that's
you...
like you're in a nuclear bunker, and then it goes off, and 5 minutes later you're like, "Is it safe to go out yet?" Despite the fact there's like radiation everywhere.
That's a stupid idea.
Like,
It's like step out, come back in the bunker all
I
melted.
don't understand why teenagers these days have to be so retarded.
Like, I get food challenges. Hey, watch your mouth. We were talking about this before the broadcast.
Let's get retarded.
You're not
here.
the Black Eyed Peas, okay?
Yes, I am.
But I get food challenges. Like, okay, try to eat a spoonful of cinnamon. It's a little bit difficult because it's dry. And,
Except that's also super dangerous.
well, that's dangerous
Yeah,
too,
'cause
but it's
you
less
get your
dangerous
lungs.
than setting yourself on fire.
well,
Just
not really,
comparing,
because
like,
choking and dying kind of better than just a bit of burns.
I guess maybe you're a little bit right, but
Yeah.
I've never done the cinnamon challenge, but I will say to Dorito so fast, like all the powder just went down my throat, and I almost died. I was like,
But you almost died because you ate
No.
Doritos too fast?
not literally, but it was horrible. I was just like coughing and wheezing for the next 5 minutes because the Dorito powder just went inside me without any Dorito.
the Dorito powder is too powerful.
Are you one of those people that just puts the chip in their mouth and then just sucks all the flavor off of it?
Ugh.
Today's show brought to you by Doritos
And Coke.
And
and cinnamon.
and Black Eyed Peas.
And Black Eyed Peas.
And fire.
Axe.
Fire.
Links. And stupidness.
I mean, I'd love to be given money.
Teletubby says that he just sucks the flavor off of chips.
Ugh. I suck it off of my friend's hands, like in that commercial.
What the fuck?
Just kidding. I don't
imagine
know.
that, like,
the Doritos
In a
commercials.
different sentence formation, I took off my friend's hands.
Doritos commercials are the best commercials ever.
I don't watch TV, so, but I have seen that
They're-
commercial. 'Cause, like,
They're just amazing. Actually, I found one MasterCard commercial. Do you guys know what MasterCard is?
yes, I know what MasterCard is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Ross knows.
Okay.
I'm
Sheesh.
assuming you're talking about like the credit card thing.
Yeah, the credit card.
Okay.
So there was a MasterCard commercial, and do you know the theme of their commercials?
No.
Nah.
It's always like one thing, some amount of dollars, another thing, some
Oh,
amount of
and then
dollars, and then when
whatever,
it gets to the end,
priceless.
it's this thing, priceless.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there was one
Yeah, I think so.
that ended in like the weirdest way possible. So it's this guy, and he's walking his like girlfriend or fiance or whatever, like up to their parents' house, and they stop at the door, and he's like leaning against the wall, and he's like, "So, how about a blowjob?" And it's like the most random spark of conversation ever, and then they just go back and forth about how it's either a good idea or a terrible idea, and then the mom opens the door and says, "We've been hearing everything because he's leaning against the intercom. Give him a blowjob."
What the hell? That's a weird.
And his
commercial.
father, or her father, says that if you don't do it, he will. And
Wow.
and then the priceless thing comes up, and it's like, having this happen.
That's on the. That
Priceless.
was on TV.
No, it was banned.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that. There's no way.
Traceable.
Because normally it's like a, I don't even know, like, child's first car seat, $107. Car to put it in, $25,000. Seeing them smile after a car crash, priceless, or something stupid like that.
the fuck?
Like, I don't know.
Seeing them smile after their parents
Like,
die.
in the car crash. That's what we do it again.
You know what I mean? Like, seeing them alive. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen
Seeing
one in
them
like
smile
in
for
years.
The first ride in their car.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
yeah, okay.
Like, poking his head out the window as they go down the highway. Priceless. My dog never does that. So
Oh,
when
my
we're scared, he'll
doggy.
try and jump out the window. Because he has a tiny head.
Oh gosh. Well,
So Kaula has been sitting here yelling at me on Skype to add to the call, but I'm not going to because Abyss wants the same, but I'm also not going to.
I mean, a 4-people call might be a little bit hectic.
Yeah, three people's about the max for this kind of
Uh,
thing. I mean, unless we're doing an interview.
Yeah. Well, tell them that
In
they can
which
be
case-
on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, real talk. Every Saturday and Wednesday around 2 o'clock Eastern, or not Eastern, 2 o'clock Central Time, even though it's 12 o'clock right now because we're going a little bit early today.
Or like 7 to 8-ish England time. Even with just 3 people, we're still interrupting each other a lot. So I guess it'd be a lot worse with 4
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Skype. I think Skype has like a tiny bit of latency that throws people off.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, well,
Because
we're talking across the world, so there's going to be latency.
I've always found that really awesome.
What?
yeah.
Just Skype, like how the fact that I can talk with somebody in Britain land and somebody in the middle of the country.
Yeah. Man, it sucks here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking to people like from my state and from Sweden at the same time, and it's like mind equals dead.
Well, it's partly Skype and it's partly Toribash itself, because like I've met so many friends from around the world, just through
Yeah,
Toribash
same.
itself, which is why
Like
I love the game so
wouldn't
much.
I wouldn't know anyone that I know now on the internet unless I had Toribash.
It's a whole new world, Telly says.
Oh.
Yeah.
New world.
Illinois is okay. Apart from Chicago, Illinois is sucks. It is bad.
Chicago's not bad.
I love Chicago. I hate corn.
Yeah. I mean, you have Aiden Pierce, isn't that enough?
the video game references.
I don't.
Why? Oh
Wasn't
my
he
God.
Irish
He
or
just
something?
he just
Like-
referenced Watch Dogs.
Oh, I
Even though I've never played it in my life.
Aiden
And
Pierce.
I never plan on playing it.
Aiden Pierce is a hacker from Chicago, and he lives in Chicago and hacks shit in Chicago.
I hear that.
I do like the gameplay mechanics. It's hardly hacking, it's like press X on your phone.
Yeah, it's like you can't say that a game is hacking. I mean, they did a really good job with it, but you can't say that a game is a hacking game when all you
Yeah.
do is walk around and point your phones at things and things do things.
I'd like it if the hacking was a bit like the lock-picking mechanic in Skyrim, where you have to like do a little puzzle.
But that
every time you
pisses
break
so
something.
many people off.
I hear that it's essentially Assassin's Creed. Like, you can steal people's credit card information. You have to be a certain proximity. The proximity is just larger than pickpocketing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah, you can steal shit from people's bank
you can
accounts.
change this.
You can't exactly climb up a building, can you? Can you? Oh,
I don't know. You can
No.
you can change the street lights. So that's basically that
Yeah,
thing
oh my
in
God. So-
Splinter Cell where you can change the electricity.
Yeah, so one of my favorite YouTubers,
Okay.
All Sham No Wow,
Oh, phew.
fucking love him. He did a thing on Watch Dogs, and what he did in one part was he followed a fire truck whose siren was going off, and he followed it and fucked with it to see if it actually managed. Oh, phone.
And that's how Plata died. It's a phone bomb I actually planted in his house. He doesn't know.
Have you seen that Tom Scout skit in
Hi there.
Mastiff movie?
This is
I have your IP
Okay.
address.
automated calls. Yeah, they have my IP.
Are you tech
It's
savvy?
CCMDM105C.
That's not a real IP address.
I know. Did you listen to the conversation
Do you
yesterday?
want to tell
Yeah,
us that
are you
story?
tech savvy?
I am very tech
Do
savvy.
you want to tell us that story, Plata?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll be the phone guy.
Yeah. So
Just let me find it in the chat.
you gotta be Indian.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, no.
this is gonna get really racist really
This is
fast.
gonna get really racist really fast.
Okay, where's the? Oh, I put an IP and it keeps doing like the IP in words like rip.
Oh, that's you're gonna find a lot of that.
Okay, okay, I've got it. Your computer that is connected to the internet has a virus that was automatically downloaded.
Which computer?
The one that is connected to the internet and most used.
I have 3 computers in this house that I use. Conversation
Yeah.
on the Skype isn't the same, by the way.
Oh, you.
I'm not gonna write out an entire 5-minute conversation.
Okay, skip forward a few minutes. Yes, I have the IP address. 1 second. It's CCM110MDS167.
That's not an IP address.
Are you tech savvy?
Yes. And that's not an IP.
Okay.
This is
Okay,
going
yeah.
very well.
Okay, your IP address is 110.152.1.
No.
Poop.
Anyways,
That's
so
horrible.
the basic like what happened in this was I got called by one of those companies that's like, hey, your computer has a virus because you did shit on the internet, and it was automatically downloaded because I was definitely going to every sketchy porn site on the fucking planet. So they call you, and this Indian guy or girl comes up, and they're like, in like the super stereotypical accent, and they're usually not in an isolated place. Like the one that called me was like there was a shit ton of background noise, and it sounded like he was just sitting in a mall. I'm not kidding, it sounded like he was just sitting in a food court and just talking on his phone.
Sorry about that.
And so he calls me, and it's like, one of your computers has a virus. And so once I hear those magical words, I just know that I can fuck with them because they're being retarded. So what I said is that I have 3 computers in this house, all on different Wi-Fi networks. Now from that statement, they have 2 options. They can say it's all of them, which is what the last one said, or what this one said, which was you can have one of them. And so it's the one that you use most. And so we kept going back and forth, and I asked him, well, if you know which computer it is, then tell me, because I don't. And so he like spends 2 minutes on the phone trying to bring up this bullshit IP, and it has letters in it. And so I'm sitting there, and he's telling me the quote-unquote IP address.
Sorry about that.
And he's like, so it's CX whatever the fuck. I don't remember what it was.
I don't think there's an X in there.
I just typed in bullshit stuff for that, Ross.
I was gonna say, if you remember that from the call.
Yeah. And so he said this random shit, and then I'm like, that's not an IP address. And he asks me if I'm tech savvy. So he asks me what an IP address is. And so I tell him that it's a series of numbers separated by periods in either 3, 2, or 1-digit segments. And so he then comes up with another BS IP, and he tries, and I say, no, that's not my IP, and then he tries saying that it's the IP of my computer, not the IP of my ISP.
That makes sense.
Huh.
Like the IP of my computer has anything to do with viruses.
You know, it's just one of these call centers that they literally just hire people and try to scam you, and it's
Yeah, they try and get money out of you, and that's why I mess with them, because they don't know anything about computers.
It's crazy that that's a thing. I remember
There is a Romanian prince that needs your money.
well,
I thought it was just
Help
spam
him.
emails.
around here there's a company called Vector Incorporated, and they send a letter.
It just reminds me of Despicable Me.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
They send.
It's not Victor, it's Vector.
Listen to this. They send a letter to every graduate from my school. So when someone graduates from high school, they get this letter, and it seems like a personal letter to them. And it's like, we want you to work here for $17 an hour. And essentially, it's just this big pyramid scheme. And I remember one of my friends was gonna do it, and it's like, it's a stupid, like, you go door to door or you call people, and you basically just scam them, and you're getting paid for each scam that you do.
Nice.
And like, they're able to send letters to every person who graduates all the time to get people in the pyramid scheme. It's stupid.
So there's this massive, like, building where you just walk into, and it just seems like super dirty already. It's like super rundown, sketchy. And you have the large feeling of I'm going to die if I fuck up. Like, what happens if you call somebody and say, "This is a scam. Please hang up." Then somebody's phone vibrates.
That's mine. Sorry about
Then
that.
I think if you called up like a client, is that what you'd call if like someone from call center was calling you? Would you be a client? I don't know,
A
but if you
potential
were like working
client.
there and calling a client, yeah, if you were there calling a potential client and like saying something like they have a virus on their computer, what happened if you said this is a scam? Hang up, like tell them I'm trapped here, I'm being tortured.
I'm
Like,
trapped
what
here.
happened?
Help!
Well, okay,
Please.
okay.
Call 911.
Would the boss
And
just
then
come
you hang
over and like beat the shit out of you, and like through the phone they'd hear like, ah!
That sounds like a
And
great
then-
prank call. It sounds okay. Here's the answer to your question.
Oh my God, Ezio's online. Why did you say that as soon as he came online?
If you're working for them, you'd get fired. But if you're
Defensive.
being like trapped by them, you'd probably just be euthanized.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My hand now.
Have you guys heard or you ever played that game? I Get This Call Every Day.
Yes.
I've heard of it, but I haven't
Nerd Cubed for the win.
I don't know who that is.
I love
but
Nerd Cube did a thing on that. Game.
essentially it's just
Apparently, he worked in a call center.
yeah, it's essentially that. Like you have to follow like certain scripts and a whole bunch of different like if this happens then you have to say this, if this happens then you have to say this, and if you don't then you get written up. So yeah, people are asking what the heck Real Talk is. Me, Ross, and Plata talk and stuff.
Okay.
There you go. Unless I'm muted.
Pretty accurate.
I mean, I've been planning on having different co-hosts every time, but you guys seem like the go-to guys.
We're
You're the go-to guys so far. So anyway, I get this call every day. I don't know why. Every time I think of it, it reminds me of Papers, Please. You ever played Papers, Please?
That I
Yeah,
can
I've heard
see
that.
that.
That's
Okay.
It was Nerdcube's top game of 2013, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
it's a
was.
fun game, that one.
Nerd Cubed is amazing.
I don't know who Nerdcubed is.
Nerdcube is now.
He is the best British YouTuber ever.
Even though he like lives in Canada or something now.
Yeah, I forget where he lives now.
Yeah, like I don't think he's actually said it, but like people are thinking, oh, it might be Canada, it might be like Finland or somewhere, because he went to Canada once and basically he left the UK because it's such a bollocks, because like, you know, stuff.
Yeah, because he did live in London,
Yeah, he did.
and now we're discussing Nerd Cubed in front of somebody that doesn't know who he is.
It's like,
So this is a good conversation to have.
Yeah,
so he.
give me a chance to talk.
Go ahead.
Nerdcubed has the funniest laugh when he least expects it. Have you seen his Crashtastic video?
Crashtastic video was amazing.
Yeah, like the bit when he built that rocket,
Yeah.
that craft out of the rockets at the back. Then he went, "Let's launch it." The rocket just went, and the guys fell on the floor, and he just like burst out laughing.
His laugh is amazing. Like the last, he does a series called Nerd Cube's Hell now, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
like shitty simulators beyond
I'm Colin McRae.
like apprehension. And the last one he did was a driving simulator. And at one point he was doing a race, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm bored of this." And so he ran into a car, head on, and the car just went pinging off into space, and he just kept going fine. And he just burst out laughing so hard that he was crying.
His most recent one wasn't actually that. He uploaded a new one. I think it was last night, which was you know, the Colin McRae rally on the PS1.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, basically he played that, but he didn't actually play that. He played a Steam HD remake of Colin McRae for mobile,
Oh gosh.
which
What?
he hates the shit out of.
I hate mobile
There's a
games.
Colin McRae for mobile. I
And
know.
It's a Steam what?
It's a Steam HD remake with the exact same name, which basically has the intention of screwing over people who think it's a HD remake of the beloved PS1 game.
Why does that exist?
I don't know.
What the?
There's a lot of things on Steam that I don't understand why they exist. Like,
I also love Nerd
Rock
Cube's-
Simulator.
I also love NerdCube's anger towards EA
I mean,
Yeah.
and anything EA
rightfully
related.
so. EA is pretty. They're a bad company.
Pretty
They
bad.
do a lot of things wrong. I mean, they do have a lot of good games that they've published, but like that's not theirs. So you can't commend them for something they didn't make. They just published it.
Yeah. I was really excited for The Sims 4, but now I'm kind of less excited for it now that there aren't any swimming pools. There
Yeah,
aren't,
that's right. They took out swimming
Why
pools.
the hell would you
And
get
the
rid of
life
pools
stage.
in Sims? Like that was one of my favorite things to do.
Because EA.
Trap them in a pool, cover
Yeah.
the pool in a wall, and watch them drown. That's great.
Andy, it's because of EA.
They told them no
It's
pools.
the only reason.
It's probably going to be in a DLC or
Oh
something.
my
Yeah,
god.
watch it be pay to get
That's
pools.
ridiculous.
Pay for pools.
Mm.
Hashtag pay for
Telly
pools.
also says that there's no Mac version.
I'm
I'm
alright
fine
with
with that too.
Max. Anybody that buys a
nerd.
Mac for gaming is retarded.
Sorry
Just
for
saying.
whoever's name is Max out there, but we hate you. We hate Max.
I actually used a Mac for a whole week when I was doing my work experience, and it was actually all right for like productive purposes, like development and design and
They're well
Things.
built. They're well built and they're
Yeah.
well made for like
High quality
actual
aluminium.
like working stuff. But if you buy a Mac for gaming,
Yeah,
you're
well,
retarded.
the thing is, they're
Just hands down.
okay. Mac, the thing that makes Apple and all of their products, every
and the Magic Mouse is pretty
every
cool.
product they have, the reason that it is that they're so popular and so like well received is because they're simple.
Right.
Because if there's a and it's like a brand name, they all look really sleek. They all look really nice, and their interface is simple and easy to catch on to. So those people who aren't tech savvy, as that Indian guy would say, to those people who aren't, it's really easy to pick up on. And also, they're known for being reliable and like I guess difficult to hack because they're not as well used a lot. It's easier to hack a Windows computer because you could just like make something that deletes the
System 32.
yeah, exactly, System 32.
One time my mum almost deleted the System 32 because she read something on the internet about how it speeds up internet.
Oh my
I was like,
god.
no, I'm not. She called me on and said, hey, we're deleting System 32 speed up. I was like, no.
If my mom so much as touches that file, I swear to God, my computer would die in a hole.
I was considering putting like changing the administrator password to something she didn't know. Just like, please don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just
I think in Windows 8 it's a lot more difficult to get to it, isn't it?
sort of. I could actually go grab my Surface and try.
Windows 7.
I think
Yeah, my dad just got it.
they
from
should
work.
probably.
Like, he brought it home, and he's like, oh, Blake, you're really gonna hate this. And then he opens up the little bag, and it's like, oh my god.
Okay, I like Windows 8.
I've wanted a Surface for a long ass time. Let me go grab it. One sec.
I like.
I like the look of Windows 8, but it kind of seems poorly thought out and pretty incomplete when they released it.
Well, yeah, it did seem a little bit rushed, but I like Windows 8 if it were
The flat design.
exclusively tablets for tablets. It is.
And the Metro thing, that the buttons and like icons are just massive.
Exactly.
It's really horrible. Kind of like going back to that Colin McRae HD mobile remake thing. Like the interface is like a button and you have to like scroll side to side, just like in a mobile game. And the buttons were like 1,000 by 1,000 pixels on a 1080p screen. Well, kind of exaggerated, but like 900 by 900. Each button being a square that takes up like 3/4 of the height of the screen. And it just looked horrible. Like, there's no way you could misclick, and it's like, even if you had fat thumbs, there's no way you could do it. Like, if the screen was like 1 inch by 1 inch, and your thumb was sort of like the footprint of Shrek, you still couldn't miss it.
Are you talking about the Surface?
We're talking about product interface of Windows 8 and other large icon
There's
things.
something that makes me really mad is how YouTube works now. YouTube channels. I mean, because when you're uploading channel art, the header, the banner, it used to be called.
Yeah.
It has to be like over 2,000 by 2,000, and when you upload it,
I thought it was just 1440 by 2560.
whatever. But when you upload it, it doesn't scale the image to the box. The box just it's just that much of the image. Like you can't change it. You have to like, because it's different for mobile and then for TVs. So when you upload it, it doesn't scale it. So you have to like just guess where you want your things to be. So when I was making the TB radio, the banner for the TB radio YouTube channel, I had to like sort of guess and figure it out.
Hope for the best.
Guess and check.
So I just got to system 32 on this thing really easily.
But is deleting it easy? Go ahead and try to delete it.
I'm not going to try to delete it.
Like, imagine if it didn't come up with the warning and it's like, boop, delete.
Alright, let's
got
see.
you.
Control A. Because that works on the surface. I'm amazed at that much. Okay, let's just try moving. Let's try moving one folder. Which folder
I'm a
do
little
I
bit
move?
scared for you. Just I know that it's gonna ask you, are you sure? But
My documents.
I mean, I don't think this account is an admin. No, it's not. Okay. So that's pointless. I do have the pen though, so I can go here in the IE, which I hate, and I can do this. Oh my god, that's so cool. So you can like draw and make letters, like actually write, and it will figure out what you're trying to write.
That technology is actually kind of old. Just saying.
YouTube.
Because in my school, they have like big like whiteboard draw on them with like a fake pen, and then it shows up on
oh yeah,
digitally.
that what's that called?
Yeah, and they have that technology which basically detects like pixels and says, oh, this letter you're trying to type here is an F. They also have that on the Nintendo DS. On brain training.
It's called active board, right, or something like that.
I have no clue.
Active board is a thing that's in my school.
Those things are cool. That's the future.
Really awesome. The future shit,
it's 2014. Every classroom should have active boards.
I think ours is essentially the same as what you're talking about, but it's a more English brand.
Okay. You know what's cool? Speaking of English brands,
I think ours is called a Starboard.
There's a store, a new grocery store that I went to the other day. It's called Mariano's, and there's a whole.
Never heard.
Obviously not. I think it's actually just a Midwest thing, so I don't think Plata would have heard of it either. Yeah, there's like 15 stores. This is like the 15th store. But anyway, there's two international aisles, but each of them has they're divided by flags like hanging from the ceiling, and the flag shows obviously what section of the international aisle it is, and there's a whole UK section, and there's essentially it's just tea and different types of we call them cookies here. What are they called? Biscuits. Yes, like Jaffa cakes and stuff like that.
Yes, Jaffa cakes. I love
Jaffa cakes. I so wish
Christmas,
I could get Jaffa cakes. I've heard so much amazing stuff about them, mostly from YagaCast, but that's about the extent of my knowledge.
I didn't even think they.
I'm also trying to install Toribash on a Surface.
I did buy a box just to see what the hype was about, and they are pretty good, I have to admit.
Yeah, and like the sort of jelly stuff
on
the inside.
Welcome to the Toribash 8.8 or 8.2.
When I tried it, it reminded me of it's the jelly that's on the inside, but it's basically that dipped in chocolate, and it's like a stick. That's what it tasted like to me. They're like, no, they're these sticks that have jelly in them, and it's the same jelly that's in Jaffa cakes.
I might have to visit America
sometime. Oh my god, Toribash launches!
Then...
Yeah, I think you can run Cod Ghosts on the Surface.
There's a thing that... Okay, speaking of traditions from the UK that are brought here, I think it might be just England that does this. Those chocolate oranges for Christmas, they have to whack.
Oh yeah. Chocolate oranges.
Those are like super huge here now. I don't know why.
I've never actually had one because I saw them like in adverts and things. It's like I don't really like oranges that much, and you know. And I've never really got like the whole hype about putting fruit in chocolate.
Yeah, I guess you could say
It
it's.
just seems kind of silly. So you're mixing something healthy with something unhealthy. You know,
It makes you feel more healthy, even though it doesn't change the fact that you're eating something unhealthy. That's like saying if you eat a bowl of ice cream and have an apple afterwards, you're being healthy.
you know, some people have like strawberries and like dip them in like a bit of sugar, like cream. Or
I
something.
dip my strawberries in
With
sugar.
chocolate, usually. It's usually chocolate.
I've never got why people dip strawberries in sugar because like strawberries are really high in natural sugars, so just giving it more sugar,
Because the natural sugar, like a lot of the like mass-produced, oh shit, that opened something. A lot of the mass-produced, strawberries, like the ones that are genetically modified and all that, aren't nearly as sweet as organic strawberries. Like my mom went out and bought like straight up organic, like harvested a day ago strawberries, and they're like insanely sweet, but a lot of the like GMO ones and all that kind of stuff are terrible compared to actual strawberries that are really good.
But the thing about those like genetically modified, like made essentially in a factory, is that they're just a lot like more reliable because you can't have a bad harvest with genetically modified strawberries, whereas with organic ones, you might have like a rough winter or something which you just ruin them. I didn't really know when strawberries go farm, but whatever. And they also tend to be a lot cheaper because they're all more compacted and like just generally more efficient. But you can't really beat the taste of a good organic fruit.
Yeah, I had an organic apple once, and I was like, wow, that's a really good apple. Never went back.
I live where the apples are coming. Washington is known for apples.
One thing I don't like is the misconception between something like, if this product is natural, it's automatically better.
Well,
that's something.
Although it is true in most cases.
Yeah, in most cases it is.
But I mean, I guess in the case of like Jaffa cakes.
Yeah.
natural Jaffa cakes, the ones that are grown in the ground, you can't beat them. Like
The Jaffa cake plant. The elusive Jaffa cake plant.
One time,
Go ahead.
I can't remember it very well, but apparently one time the BBC for April Fool's Day, they basically in like the 1960s or something, they did a thing which was called a pizza plant, and apparently loads of people bought it.
Some people are just dumb. Like the iOS, what was it? iOS 5 update. Someone made a fake
iOS 7.
poster.
Waterproof.
Yeah, a poster saying that if you activate it, it's waterproof now. Oh my god, that's funny. So many phones.
If that did actually work though, imagine like the first generation Apple products. They're like, okay, in the future we're probably gonna make it waterproof, so we're gonna have to add some mechanism that could be activated by the operating system in the future. We have to do this. Just like compensating for 6 years.
That's like.
It's like, okay, one day we're gonna find this
I
technology.
remember when I got a GameCube. I like to tinker with things, and even when I was little, I liked to. And there's right when it came out, I looked at like the bottom. And there's like 30 different like little plugs and stuff on. Like you could open a thing, and there's a whole bunch of different plugs. And I'm like, what are these for? And then like 2 years later, there's like mechanisms that go with them. And I'm like, how do they know the future? But I realized that they make those because they know that they're gonna release them.
Yeah, I think one of the big future things that's going to come in the next couple years is graphene, like mass-producing graphene.
SciShow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graphene is amazing.
What's
batteries?
Yeah.
Batteries
Like-
made with graphene can charge in like 5 seconds and hold charges better than current batteries.
And the CPUs using graphene instead of silicon, they can have like a 10 nanometer process.
Yeah.
For some reason, when I heard graphene, I thought of aerogel. But it's
Aerogel's
not
pretty
aerogel.
interesting. No, it's not
What's
aerogel.
aerogel?
Aerogel is the lightest man-made substance on Earth.
Oh,
and
I
it's,
have heard of
It's
that.
like 90%
Yeah,
air.
weird.
That's like a blue. It's blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's blue.
This stuff's weird.
Squishy. Kind of sponge.
But graphene is like really cool.
It sounds pretty cool.
Graphene.
Well, it's
Graphene.
funny because two scientist peoples got a prize. I think it was the Nobel
Scientist
Peace Prize
peoples.
for sciencey stuff.
I think it's just a Nobel Prize, not Nobel Peace Prize. or
Yeah,
something.
because the Nobel Peace Prize is a different thing. Yeah,
Two
they
in
got a Nobel Prize for sciencey stuff because they managed to create a 1 atom thick layer of graphene with a pencil and scotch tape.
Wait, what?
They got an award for creating a 1 atom thick substance with a pencil
That's it?
and scotch tape.
Wait, if it's a pencil, wouldn't it be graphite instead of graphene?
Exactly. Graphene is 1 atom.
Oh right. So
Graphite
okay.
is all of the atoms.
Oh, okay, I see
Okay.
what you're saying, because it has to be arranged in
Okay,
a certain way.
So yeah, but because graphite is in like layered formation, graphene is just basically just one layer of graphite. I think Platt's
That's-
kind of brain dead right now.
It sounds cool, though.
I'm not brain dead.
Graphene. It's
Yeah, it's like I
Right
think
now.
it's supposed to be a better conductor
it's
than
Batman's
silver.
one atom thick enemy.
It's a better conductor than silver. It's a better insulator than diamond. And it's a better processor than silicon. And it holds electricity much better and all of this amazing other stuff.
It's like solar roadways. You guys heard of that? Solar roadways?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard.
Oh,
It,
I've
like,
heard of those.
Charges electric cars as you drive along.
Yeah, that
the
was a
road,
thing
like-
that came up in Germany, wasn't
No.
it? Some road in Germany was planning on doing
Essentially-
like,
Probably.
a road that charges
No,
electric
not like
cars.
that. It's replacing. It's a movement where
Japan.
we replace all of the roadways with solar panels, and the electricity, because there's a lot of asphalt everywhere, and if you replace it with solar panels, then you can get it can get a lot of electricity,
electricity.
to power cities, essentially.
But solar panels are really delicate.
Well, they'd be put
Yeah,
under.
very.
There's a whole video that explains it, and there's like a whole bunch of
good
cool
shit
stuff,
as well.
like because they're solar panels, they can power themselves. So there's LED lights that instead of having to paint lines on the road, it's LED lights, and sensors that sense like animals crossing the road that can notify you if there's an accident. They can easily change the lines on the road and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. The marketing for it is a little bit weird. It's I don't know. The way that the video is sort of like a gimmicky, like trying to appeal to people video, but I feel like it's actually a good idea, but it would take a really long time for it to actually actually fully be in effect.
Yeah, like to change like the hundreds of thousands of miles of road to solar panel all connected in one like giant mainframe crossing oceans and land masses to create a massive network of electricity seems kind of far-fetched.
They said there's
I mean, I suppose it might be viable on like Pluto or something,
there,
which is smaller.
Yeah, it's just right now, solar panels are much more expensive to make than you would think.
Not very plausible.
Yeah, and they don't generate a fantastic amount of energy. I mean, over a large surface area, yes, but they're fantastically expensive and very fragile. And so having like 3 inches of like rock hard glass over the solar panel kind of defeats the purpose because that'll absorb a lot of the light.
well,
So there's a lot of logistics that go into that.
Tuna's
that don't
saying
really
that
work.
the solar roadways are fake. I don't know.
Like it's possible but not plausible.
Okay, they said
If
that they
that
were
makes
gonna
sense.
start in small like parking lots in big populated areas, and then move to like parks, change all the park roadways and stuff.
Wait, hold on a moment. If you're doing it in a big populated area in a car park,
Yeah, I
sorry, but that's what we call it in the UK, car park, not a parking lot. Wouldn't that be like really bad instead of doing it like in the middle of a Texas
But then you'd
desert
have
or
to run
something?
wire all the way over
'Cause
there
that way,
to the next.
yeah, no, but there'll be more parked cars taking up more.
Yeah,
space
doing it
than
in a
solar
parking
That's a
lot doesn't
very
make
good
like, any
observation.
sense at all.
That completely slipped my mind.
Like, imagine if there was a concert going on that night and you need like a lot of electricity to power all the lights, but all the cars were just hogging all of the surface
obviously
area on the road.
it's a supplemental power source. It's not
gonna
going to
be a
be
big
the
flop.
only power source.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, up here where I live, all of the power, or at least like 90% of it, is
Right,
hydro.
because you live.
It's all hydro.
Yeah, 'cause
Over
you have a lot of
here,
lakes near there, don't you? And,
it's like-
rivers and stuff.
I live right next to the
Over here, it's
Pacific Ocean.
ethanol. We use a lot of ethanol
Ethanol.
because of all the
Phew.
fucking corn everywhere.
Corn.
And there's a place where there's a lot of windmills. Like you drive on the highway and you get to this area where it's literally just hundreds and hundreds of gigantic windmills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
wind farms.
Here we
And-
call it the Gorge because there's a stadium there or a concert place that's called the Gorge, and so there's like a shit ton of windmills just everywhere because it's
However,
in the dry
those are
part
all our
of
supplemental power sources. Our main power source is, since we're in the Midwest, we have a lot of nuclear power plants. So I actually live near one. It's called Dresden. My mom used to work at it. And
Oh, but
here's a story.
did your mom develop weird
No.
cancerous tumors?
No.
She
grew
was a
a third
security
leg.
guard there. And after
Oh,
9/11,
security guard for a nuclear
after
plant.
9/11, they
That's
made her
not
carry
small.
heavier weapons, and it actually injured her, so she doesn't work there anymore.
How
Because
did
it,
that
it
injure
tore
her?
her shoulder rotator cuff because it's too heavy.
Let's see.
Ah.
What was she carrying? Like an
M16?
LMG?
M14?
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Small nuclear bomb.
Mini nukes. Yeah, they made everybody carry mini nukes.
You're going to use this small nuke in a nuclear plant to protect us.
Like, is this nuke
So
too
if you
big
see
for
somebody
you?
that
Try
might
the
cause some
pocket
trouble,
nuke.
just throw the bomb at them. Good ideas.
And hide behind like 100 feet thick concrete so the radiation doesn't kill you.
But yeah, it's crazy because people think that nuclear power is a lot more dangerous when actually it's really
It's really
efficient, and it
efficient
has
as well.
less dangers than, or it has less casualties, I should say, than coal power plants. Like, yeah, okay, if it melts down, which rarely, it only ever happens because of some, like a fluke, like an earthquake or something, which aren't popular over here, or a hurricane.
Or someone being like overdrive.
That's why you
Put it in
don't find
overdrive, put it in
nuclear power
And-
plants in LA. Because that would go
So,
very poorly.
according to the census in 2010, only one person died because of nuclear power in general, and it was mining. It was mining the uranium. But in coal power,
That's a dangerous
there's
aspect.
a lot more casualties, and it's a lot less efficient, and it's a lot more kind of expensive for the state because
And it's a lot more
yeah,
environmentally
because you have to.
harming.
There's different grades of coal, and you have to find like it's stupid. I learned all about it
Yeah.
in
High grades.
environmental science in high school, but I forgot it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nuclear power, everyone's like, oh, it's so bad, when it's really not. It's a beautiful process. And
Yeah,
once we manage to get fusion working, ooh,
Yeah, there's
shit's
one place.
gonna
In
go
the,
down.
there's one place in the UK which is trying to develop a way where you can get more energy out of the process than the amount that you put in.
Yeah, that's
And-
called a surplus of energy.
I have no clue, but yeah, apparently the development's going well and it might come soon. Isn't like most of Japan
Yeah.
powered by nuclear anyway? they
Yeah,
have
but their
a
nuclear
large
power
uranium
plants were all blown up in the earthquake.
Well, no, it's only the ones on like the east coast, like Fukushima
Yeah.
and all that. All the ones on the other side were like.
All
mostly
I know
fine.
is that there's a massive amount of nuclear and other waste in the middle of the ocean that's floating towards us
Yay.
slowly.
It's like the BP
Run
oil
away.
Yay!
spill all over again, except it's nuclear.
Oh god, that fucking oil
Um,
spill.
Blame BP.
Oh my god, actually I saw a kit on the internet that was like a BP
like Cody
oil
2012.
spill kit. And so it's like you take this little like Tupperware thing of water and you just like
You throw it on
dump
a
a shit
steel.
ton of oil into it and then do your best to clean it all up without just dumping it out.
In the UK, most of the power comes from coal farms. Although there are, I think it's like.
Coal farms.
It does
You
say
raise
coal
your
farm.
coal,
Did I?
you feed it well, and then you throw it into a fire.
Oh,
clearly.
look at all the baby coals grazing on
men-
the field.
Oh, look at Cole drinking from its mummy.
Anyway, continue, Ross.
my god.
Okay. Coal plants and nuclear plants. Although in Wales, which I live right next to the border of, which is basically like the pregnancy part of England. Okay, imagine England is a person. It looks like a sitting down person, and Wales is
Okay.
like the pregnant belly. If you look at a map.
Are they do they have a larger pregnancy
Now that would
rate?
be uncanny.
I have no clue.
They probably don't, because they're the
I don't know.
super old-fashioned people, aren't they?
No, they have wind power because they live in like the hilliest, windiest place in the UK. So there's like every like mile you go, you see loads of wind turbines. And because we go on holiday there a lot in our lovely motorhome, like we just drive by, like we're going like on the side of a van or something. We just look over and like, no, wind farm.
Oh, it's another wind farm.
And here you see the baby wind.
I always think about alternate energy and specifically cars, because when I was a kid, I learned that how generators work is they spin. And I was like, why don't we put those on cars, on the wheels? And, well, that's what a hybrid is. But the reason is because nothing is perpetual. You can never have perpetual motion. And in the same way, you can't have perpetual energy. So energy is always being spent somewhere and transferred into another. So with
Can't be created. Or
Right.
They can't be created
But
or destroyed. Or
it also
transferred.
can't be infinite. But
Apparently.
these hybrid cars,
No.
It can be
these
close
hybrid
to
cars
it,
that are
but it
coming
can't
out,
be.
and my friends are like super into cars. I'm not, but they talk about it. There's I think it's BMW that's putting it out. They have a hybrid car is basically some of the energy comes from generators in the wheels, and some of it comes from gas.
Kinetic
That's what I was just
braking
gonna say.
is one of those.
You use energy to stop, but where does all the energy go? They use it to, like, they store the energy from braking, the inertia. I don't know exactly how
The
the
friction.
process works.
It's
But
friction.
yeah, that's awesome that works, that they're doing that.
Do you guys know
Yeah.
of the Chevy Volt?
It's really
Heard of it.
Yeah, that thing gets like
yeah, it's
300
crazy.
miles
'Cause-
to the
well,
gallon.
because that one uses gas to power the battery instead of using gas to power the wheels. So the battery powers the wheels and the gas
Yeah.
powers the battery. Because I guess it's easier. Plus,
And
with
it's
battery
ridiculous.
power, there's instant torque. So you don't have to wait for the engine. You don't have
Instant
to
torque
wait for the engine to
is
rev up. It just goes
beautiful.
wee right away. I want a Chevy Volt, but the only problem is if you drive it a lot. Well, yeah, money. Money is the biggest problem, because if the battery dies or if it breaks somehow, it's like a $25,000 replacement. So
But I know a lot of people with them,
exactly,
and they haven't.
and my friends
broken.
are always skeptical about new ideas, and they.
Yeah, but there's
Well, you
always
live
a
in the
chance.
Midwest.
Hey, is that a?
Electric cars? Nah.
It's,
America.
what are you talking
We
about?
like
That's not how the
corn.
Midwest is. Do I sound like that? Okay.
No.
No.
Ross just thinks any
No,
American
that's
sounds like a
Southern.
Southwestern.
That's Southern America. They're-
Yeah. Yeah.
they're just
They're all from
stupid.
Texas and they all like Cambos and shotguns.
Texas and east
Yeah,
to
like-
Florida. Like anything between Texas and Florida is like if you have anything
Redneck.
if you have anything atheist or
They'll shoot
anti-Christian anywhere,
It's
You're
it's
getting
worse than
shot.
the ghetto, because in the ghetto at least you have to provoke them somehow, but they just get provoked by belief.
yeah, in the ghetto, I mean, you have to just dress wrong. This, you just have to say something antichrist.
Real talk brought
you're
to you
done.
by Prejudice
Yeah,
and Jesus.
Jesus.
Lots of Jesus.
and Jesus. Jesus sponsors us. What would Jesus do on a nice Saturday morning, evening, night-ish?
You'd have
Listen to
Doritos,
Real
Mountain
Talk.
Dew, and Dr. Pepper.
Jesus would listen to
it's
Real
the
Talk.
best show with the most satirical name.
Yep,
Yeah.
because we're talking about.
It'd be
real
funny if it was
things.
a show that talked about fantasy novels. But instead, Instead, it's just
like
three
video
guys
games.
talking about random stuff.
So here we read Narnia.
It's Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
That was a good
Have
movie.
you guys ever seen that film?
I like that one. I don't like the. No, I like the
I-
original one.
I only saw it when I was young, and I always used to get like really scared whenever when that kid got sucked up like the chocolate tube, and I was like, "Fucking hell, he's gonna die if that never happens to me."
They got him. Now they're gonna get me.
And when
Oh
that-
my
and when that
god.
girl got really fat, and he had to like roll
That
her
was a
around.
weird movie.
Like,
That was Willy
Christ.
Wonka. Willy Wonka
Yeah.
and the
Such a
Chocolate
weird
Factory.
movie.
Charlie and the
Yeah.
Chocolate Factory was the
Oh
one
yeah,
with Johnny
Charlie.
Depp.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Who fantasizes about these chocolate factories?
My favorite part in that movie was when they go through the tunnel, and he's doing that like weird rhyme that there's no knowing where we're going. You know that part?
Yeah, I
When you
vaguely
actually think
remember
about it, it's like
The tunnel,
rain
and it's
or
weird
something.
because they're going through the tunnel and there's like flashing pictures on the walls, and there's a video of a chicken getting its head cut off in this children's film. I think Pendulum sampled it in one of their songs. It's really cool. Yeah, it's called Through the Loop. Through the Loop by
love
Pendulum.
Pendulum.
If you want to listen to it, it's pretty cool.
I love Pendulum.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, I just remembered a really interesting
Go ahead.
thing that we should talk about.
Yes.
This came up, I want to say 2-3 years ago. So you guys know
Yeah.
Detroit, right? And like Detroit is like just terrible economy. It's like dead in a hole.
Yeah.
It's a
Nobody
very
likes it anymore.
crime-ridden city.
It is. So there was a proposition that came up, and this was a real thing, to turn Detroit into a zombie land.
Continue.
Huh.
Yeah. So basically what they would do is they would fence off the entire city, and then you and like 200 friends for like a birthday party or something would go there and pay a shit ton of money, and like a quarter of you would get like paintball guns or airsoft guns or something, and then the rest of them would all be painted up and made to look like zombies.
Cool.
And so you are running around the city of Detroit. So there's this massive feeling of isolation. They would deck it out in like fucked up cars and all of this shit to make it seem
up windows.
even like more scary. And you're just walking around with some friends with paintball or airsoft guns while there's like 150 other friends chasing after you.
What happened if there was like, if like you got thirsty or something? What,
You
where
die.
was the
You
water?
die.
Yeah, you're just dead. Sorry.
You just roll
Happy
over.
birthday! Now you get to
Happy
die.
birthday!
Brain.
Well, it takes you like 3 days to actually die
Yes.
from.
Yeah, but bear in mind it takes like 1 day to just like become incapacitated and like essentially dead.
I mean, yeah, Detroit's a big city, but you won't get lost. You could, you don't have to walk a whole fucking day to get out of the city. It's not a desert.
Yeah, no, but like you spend half the day like paintball fighting, and then just like like oh I need a drink, and like say there's one place in the city where all the water's kept, just like in the middle, and you're like on the outskirts, and there are like 50 of your zombie friend people chasing you, and you're like out of your breath. You're like the water's right there. I want to get the water, but I don't want to get eaten.
Say that you're pretending to be a zombie, and there's some people that actually didn't move out of Detroit, and they're like, "What the hell?" and they start shooting you with real guns. Imagine that.
Oh,
I got the video for it.
like
I got the
people in
video.
the hood, just like
Because that's where the hood is,
shit, man.
essentially, isn't it?
who that?
So here is the video.
Big G.
That is the video for the proposition.
People want to turn. I don't think that many people would want to move out of Detroit.
But Detroit is like, you can buy a house for like $2,000.
Maybe if you made like Detroit Mark II, just like a
The
couple miles
population of
out.
Detroit is 700,000.
That
Oh,
is
yeah, I guess you're right.
nothing for
Compared to Chicago
big-ass
being
city.
2 million, New York City
That's-
being 8 million, and
Yeah, my
or
city's
London
like
being
6.
6 million.
I think Seattle's like 6.
London houses like 1/10 of the whole of England or the whole of the UK's population.
Wait, 6 million in London when the population of Wisconsin state is 9 million?
Yeah.
So, my Seattle, the city,
Right.
is 600,000. Washington State is
So
6 million.
there's more people living in New York City than in your state. That's weird.
Yeah.
There's more people.
Well, because New York is like the densest packed city in the world.
It's not like the Netherlands, which is like 110,000 people per square kilometer or something.
Yeah, New York is like,
I remember there was a Vsauce about some time, or Vsauce 2.
yeah, you can fit every person in the world in, like, if you were standing shoulder to shoulder, you could fit everyone in the world in LA.
More people live in Greece than in Russia, I think.
That's interesting. Hey, look, thunder. Thank
but
you.
bear in mind, Greece is like, you know, lovely and sunny, and like there are beaches everywhere. You know, there are loads of islands you can go to. Whereas
Who the fuck
Russia's
wants
just
to
like,
live there?
you know, it's like it's snowy, it's cold. I don't like it. There are bears everywhere. You'll die. It's like a load of litter. The people there don't like gay people. It's generally a bit of a shithole.
Once again,
No offense
Real
to
Talk brought to you
Russians.
by Prejudice and Jesus.
And Jesus.
Good old Jesus.
Well,
Could you
I
imagine
hear
a Russian
something.
Jesus?
yeah.
Do I
that's
hear
my
something
dog.
with a
I'll tell him to
squeaky
shut up.
toy?
Well, that shut them up.
So, Ross, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. How's it going your way?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Sun is starting to somewhat peek out, sort of.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
It's good.
That's alright. At least your dog's kind of not there anymore.
At least your dog is here. My dog's still hiding.
Anyway,
in a
okay,
fucking
there you go.
bathtub.
There. Is it gone? Do you not hear anymore? Because I don't. If you do hear it, then that's a
Yeah,
I
squeaker toy. It's actually not my dog. It's not my dog. It's my mom's and my sister's dog. It's
kind
a
of dog?
dachshund. I hate. I hate
a
it.
little sausage
Good old
dog.
wiener. Ain't
There-
nothing like
okay,
a wiener dog.
I would like it if it didn't bark and play with squeaking toys all the time, but since it does all of those things,
Yeah, that's what dogs do.
Welcome to dogs.
okay.
In America, do you call that breed like
hot
sausage
dogs?
dogs? No, just like
No, we call them hot.
Do you call them sausage
wiener
dogs?
dogs or hot
No,
dogs?
we call them wiener dogs.
Well, in England, like people call them sausage dogs because they're like
Yeah, they
sausages
look like
with
hot
little
dogs.
legs. Like
Yeah, wiener dogs.
they're not called hot dogs; they're called sausages.
Hey,
They're called wiener dogs.
listen. You're talking to someone
Look,
who
look.
lives in Chicago or lives really near to Chicago.
You wish you lived
This
I live
in
in the
is-
birthplace of Charles
Chicago
Darwin. Get
is
on my
like
level.
the hot dog city.
Yeah, you can't go.
What else do you-
what? You can't go. Okay, fine. I'll put it in British terms. You can't go a meter
Yeah, it's
without seeing a hot dog
they're
stand.
good though. They're really good. You ever had a Chicago hot dog?
I'm not a fan
Oh.
of hot dogs.
It's a hot dog with you got onions, relish, and a barking dog.
Is the dog actually barking, or is it just like someone else's
You,
dog? out?
you put the hot dog in the bun and
ringing
it just starts
phone?
barking. Phone!
Oh my gosh. No, it's an escapade. What's happening here?
Oh.
We're nearing the end of the show.
Jesus, the prejudice.
Anyway, it has been about an hour. If you guys feel like wrapping up, or is Plata still on the phone?
I don't know.
Oh,
I think so. Might be the Indian guy again.
oh gosh. When he told that story, I thought it would be a lot more interesting than it was.
Yeah, I know.
It
don't
would
think
be
we
awesome
portrayed it very
to do
well.
a prank call similar to that, telling people that they have a virus and telling them their IP address.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get IP address by physical address, or is that like really impossible?
Plus, how would they like legally find out if they have a virus? Because like you have a virus. Thanks for hacking into my computer. That's against the
I
law.
don't think
You're under
they
arrest.
can do that. I wonder who's on the phone with Plata right now, though.
Yeah.
Interrupting the show.
That'd be really peculiar.
Tell them to delete this. Okay, I wouldn't do that actually. I draw a line when I prank call someone. I don't go too far. I feel like it's a
Yeah, but it isn't prank calling because you're the one being called and they're the ones being like assholes who are like, oh yeah, you should totally buy this product. It's like, you know, $10 a month.
no, but I mean like pretending to be the person telling them that they have a virus. If you were to prank call someone and do that, Telly just said to delete their system 32.
Yeah.
That and ruin someone's
that'd be
computer.
hard.
I wouldn't do that. I can't do that. Like when.
Imagine if like someone called and said, "Oh, you have a virus," and you're like, "No, you have a virus." How'd they react? Would this be like, "Wait, what? My God!"
I hate it.
Oh, your dog's on again.
Who's talking? Well, okay, he's got us. They got us. Don't need to answer him. And if you can't read Con, it's me, Andy, which is myself, Ross, and Plata.
Although,
Yeah, the show's about over though, but we will be uploading it on YouTube. So once Plata gets back, we can wrap up. We should. Speaking of wrap up, we should make a hip hop beat, and rap.
Okay, I'll lay down the beat. 'Cause last time we did a live rap on radio, it didn't go down too well.
There
I actually
would
did it.
be
It's
too much
pretty
latency
good.
for it
Well,
to
it was
have
pretty
any
good.
sort of rhythm.
Okay, I'll.
What is YouTube?
Huh. Wait. How about if I just like do like the beatboxing, then you do it when you hear it, so that way when it gets like sent off to the radio, you'll be synced with my audio, but my audio won't be synced with yours if you get it. So it'll be alright.
See,
for people
that does
listening
make
to
sense.
you,
The
but
only
not
problem
me.
is I can't rap.
Yeah. I couldn't rap, and
It's
I
the
still
radio.
did it. It's the radio,
Get
man.
with it.
Get with it.
I'm not
Hey.
ready. No.
You ready?
Telly, just so you know, YouTube is a
Prepare your
website
blood.
where people upload videos, and with it,
Not
it's
to be
very
confused with
similar to
Pornhub.
Pornhub, except it's not a hub.
And the advertisements are a lot more.
There's
safe for
advertisements on
work.
Pornhub?
Yeah, there are. They're generally full of like old ladies in your
gosh.
area looking for a bang, and like granny shagging or something like that.
Oh gosh,
It's
that's
generally quite horrible. Like, are you looking for a MILF? And I was like, no, I want to watch porn.
this is what I do.
Leave
It's
me
my
alone.
day job. I just watch it and get paid for it. Oh man.
Oh, could you imagine like
Isn't
being a
there like
moderator
a
of
comment
porn
section on there?
something?
That's weird.
Yeah, there are.
Who would make an account and comment on that? Like, why would there?
Like, what would you say? I was like, oh yeah, and next time you do it, can you not try and get some better like camera angles on like the penis?
I'm kind
You
of
know.
I'm kind of tempted
How
to
do
go
you
there
say
and look at the comments and say them live, but I don't know if that'd be very safe for work.
Imagine if like you got the people who you also tell you should be like, hey, check out my channel. Like,
To wrap up the show, we're gonna read Pornhub comments. You know what? Fuck it, I'm doing it.
Okay. Oh, I found on this striptease video. Nice. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to mute. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's pornography. Oh, 85 comments on this one.
Really?
I fuck them bitches, says ladies
Nice.
man. Wow, that girl, that first girl, really liked having that cum shot all over her body. Hold on, I'm gonna get this. Give me a sec.
Oh no, I'm the only one here now. Christ. I'm gonna take a look at comments from EF, reddit.com/EF, because that's my go-to place for porn. Obviously. Okay. Oh, no, that's in
I'm back.
an Inga
Hi,
one.
sorry about that.
Ninja-
The squeaker
Ninja.
tour was somehow he got it again. Only one good
The
scene.
toy.
If the dude's gonna jerk himself off, why the hell is there a girl in the scene anyway? What?
To add to the effect.
Hi.
Oh, Plata, hi.
Hi,
Well,
you're
we're
back.
wrapping up.
Hi. My dad
Was it an
called
Indian?
asking how my dog was, and then there was a massive series of thunders, so I had to go check on my dog.
I
And
know
she
that
was
feel.
shaking apart, so I gave her, or attempted to give her, a sleeping pill, and
Okay.
my attempts failed.
Well,
Did she eat your finger instead?
No, she just wouldn't eat. She was shaking too much.
Wait, so was she like growling at you, or was she just like sitting there, shaking, and like looking you in the eyes, like, "We're gonna fucking die"? Does your dog ever look at you like that? Just like, you know, ears back, shaking, just like no hope left.
Yeah, she's
anyway, I
quite
think it's
scared.
about a good time to wrap up the show. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes, so I feel we shouldn't overstay our welcome and stoop down
Come
to the point
on.
of reading Pornhub comments. Oh wait. So
Yay, Pornhub! Were we
Yeah, a
discussing
little bit.
Pornhub
You'll
while
hear
I
it on
was
the VOD.
gone?
Yeah, we were quite a bit.
Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. You can always tune in on every Saturday and Wednesday between 12 o'clock Central Standard Time to 2 o'clock Central Standard Time is when we start. So we'll figure that out, and we'll be back on Saturday with some more fun, real talking. Thanks, Plata. Thanks, Ross, for joining us. Any last words?
Thank you.
Can I just, those times from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time is roughly 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. English time.
And it's
Eastern
roughly
time.
like 10 a.m.
Okay. Western.
Uh,
Exactly.
Western. Pacific.
See you guys on Wednesday.
Correct.
Thanks for listening. I don't know who's hosting next, but goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.